Hello and welcome to our second birthday episode. We're in the studio today to celebrate, and Nicky Laceby from Bake Off will be joining us in a bit.
Very nice.
Very good. How are you, Sean? You all right?
I'm very good.
Yes.
Since I last spoke to you 10 seconds ago.
I know, we've been in the studio since we did our 100th episode special. We've been in the same room all that time.
But very exciting because now we're about to do an award ceremony. We've had the BAFTAs.
We've had the BAFTAs.
But that is nothing.
This won't go on quite as long as the BAFTAs. But I can assure you there are some big names out there. And David Tennant has agreed that he will be presenting them next year. That's good news. We decided it would be a good idea to have an Oh My Dog awards for various stories and things that people have contributed over the last 2 years.
Absolutely.
And so we hope that this will become a regular thing. And we asked listeners to come up with ideas for nominations.
Yes.
So, which may sound like a lazy way of constructing the format for our awards, but we genuinely want you to be part of it because they're not proper awards unless you're involved in who should be nominated and who should be awarded. We've got things like Best Rescue Story, which is a very recent one from Chesney Hawkes.
Yes.
Had an extraordinary story of how he came to have his dogs. And then I think there's an honorary mention here for Pete Wicks for being an all-round super rescuer of dogs. And Will Young, do you remember his story in the LA
back quite a bit.
Story? Yeah, it is. I'd need to remind myself of some of that.
Chesney Hawkes, so in case you missed the episode a couple of weeks ago now. Yeah, he was at a traffic jam in LA and saw a dog running around the traffic jam and jumped out of his car.
Yeah,
to save the dog.
Oh, that was just the beginning of it. It was really quite a thing, wasn't it? We got Martha Howe Douglas.
Best dog voice. This is best dog voice.
Oh, sorry, yes. This is the the new another category was for best dog voice.
Yes.
Martha Howe Douglas for her Shih Tzu Huey.
Would you like to hear it?
Let's hear it. Just to remind ourselves. It's one of the great pleasures of doing this is to get people to reveal the voices they use when they speak to their dogs at home. And let's hear this.
I give it this. Yui!
Wow!
Yui! Like that.
That's amazing. Sounds like something from computing, like from Mario or something, on Mario Kart. Yui! Yui!
Yeah. My mum goes mad because she's like, don't wind him up. You're winding him up. You get too excited. Anyway, so I do that. Yui!
That's a great voice. That was. I'm glad to have been reminded of that.
Yes.
It's
like Simba from
Technical problems here at the studio. I think you are lining up, aren't you? Our honorary mention.
Yeah.
This is Janine Harouni for her voice that she uses for Charles Barkley, her Maltipoo.
Like Simba from The Lion King. You know, kid Simba.
Ah. Okay, yes, yeah. So can we have an example?
So my husband will be like, who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? And then I'll be like, I am, Dad. I love you.
Excellent. So these kind of are awards rather than nominations, aren't they? I've realised.
You know what it was though, Jack?
Yeah.
So I kind of backed myself into a corner here because I'd said let's get nominations, and I was like, but we need to do the whole thing.
We need to
the show.
Yeah.
Second birthday. So I had to cultivate the whole awards.
Yes.
That's what we've got. We've got the final version. I got the nominations. I asked people what they thought. They came back with some of these. And I added my own as well.
I'm really okay. I think you've done a good job here. I think this is great.
Thank you.
Best moment, Jack schooled Sean. Now, obviously, there's a large pool of these to choose from, but I can see what the top one is.
Yeah, it was when you were in 12th Night and kept referring to it as the 12th Night. On it. It was
because of the Batman film, The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, those two are very often confused anyway.
Oh God, how awkward!
What?
I'll just put that over there.
Sean is rehearsing for a Shakespeare play.
Yeah, I mean, it's the kind of thing you'd expect from me, obviously.
Yeah,
Just me
very
being
much so, yeah.
Big typecast again.
Yeah. What is the play you're doing?
I'm doing the 12th night. I'm playing
Right,
Malvolio
okay.
with it. And,
Can I stop you there? Because it's not the 12th night. It's 12th night.
Oh, it's not.
Stop calling it that. I noticed it last time you said it, and I thought, well, that's like if you say you're in a musical in the West End at the moment. Oh, what's it called? It's called The Cats. In a way, I notice these things because they're exactly the kind of mistakes I would make. I have to say, I don't point it out at the time. I'm not generous enough, but that was.
That's still, if I post something on Instagram for whatever reason, and there's some kind of link between whatever it is I'm saying and Shakespeare or anything, a play, people will message. The 12th night. Ha! With lots of laughter emojis.
Yeah.
So, no, thanks for pointing
They're
that
just
out.
embittered out of work actors, I can assure you. It'll be, you can't even say it and you still got in the play. Whereas I, a trained actor...
honorary mention goes to explaining how drills work, explaining that wrapping a dog lead around your arm whilst driving isn't safe.
Yeah, well, I felt that needed to be done. I can't remember explaining how a drill works.
I think we were explaining things like you need a bit for it,
Okay,
and
yes.
different types of walls you may be drilling into.
Listen, this podcast has been great to me. I've learned a lot. It's kind of, it's under the guise of it's about dogs for people that love it. It's really just so I can learn a bit more about the world.
Just, helping you to acclimatise to adulthood, isn't it?
As we now know, I've spent most of it running away from the police. Actually, I didn't. Sorry, just this continuing from something in the last episode where I had explained. I'm sure you're aware that I was hid behind a bush and the police had gone past.
When you and your friends had stolen ice cream
from
from
a school.
Yes. And he was 15. This wasn't last week.
Yes, it's very important. But I actually then what I did is I garden skipped the rest of that street. So I went through the gardens and then eventually got to a pub where I climbed over the wall and slept in a pub garden.
Oh, okay. On the run.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, literally on the run.
Yeah. There was wanted posters.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. Last seen with a tub of raspberry ripple.
Yeah.
Do not approach.
Hardened criminal.
Yeah. And then we got our next category.
Did you never do stuff like that?
We'll get back to
the awards.
I suppose I did. Couple of times. Yeah. I think I think I did actually on one occasion. I think I sort of talked my way out of it.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. I was about 15, about the same age, and I was stopped by police, and I had this
ice cream.
It was a dope pipe. And I managed to persuade them that I didn't even know what it was. I have no idea what you're talking about, officer. What? It's a what? Oh, thank you. Thank you for telling me. You
haven't got the ice cream, have you?
You two together.
Yeah, but
oh, that's amazing.
But they let me go on my way. It was all right. I got out of it. Yeah, they were very good to me.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
that's very nice. That's very nice of them. That is. They probably just thought, oh, he's only 15. Let him be.
Yeah, probably. And they maybe they didn't know what it was either. I don't know. I mean,
I doubt that.
I say
probably.
either. I think we all knew what it was.
Yeah.
In that situation, maybe something more important had come up on the radio than just to go, there's someone on the run with some ice cream. Let's go. Count yourself lucky, kid.
Oh dear.
Anyway, best guest.
Excuse me.
Best guest no show, of course, goes to Kevin Bishop.
As always.
He's sadly not here to accept the award.
Who no showed twice, it must be.
He no showed twice. We don't even bother getting in touch with him anymore.
Twice.
No, yeah. He never did make it.
Most owned. The next award is most owned dog owner.
Yeah.
This is meaning that when we think that the dog has control over the owner, and it's the other way round. And this, I think, quite an obvious standout winner, Fiona Allen.
Fiona Allen, I think it was, yeah. Fiona, who lovingly cooks for her dog every day. And I think your dog puts in requests, and there's a menu set out at the beginning of the day. So, no, she's...
takes the dog's coat off.
Totally
puts
owned.
it up.
And then we got most random story. And I agree, this is quite right. It's a worthy winner, this. It was Ramesh Ranganathan talking about how he cocoa butters his legs. Do you remember that?
I do remember that.
I remember being speechless. I still don't know why he does it.
I cocoa butter my body from top to bottom every morning. I don't know I'm getting to this, but
that's good. That's good to know. We've got exclusive. The only reason that we made this award for him because we didn't want to be the only show that he's not on. So we made sure to fit in. We got him in there, and there's a Ramesh cocoa buttering his legs. And funniest moment. Well, it's just obvious, isn't it? I mean, this will be the funniest moment until you stitch me up again.
Yes.
Was, of course, Seann being taken down by the police dog at Crufts.
Yes,
which was, I mean, it was. I think it put this podcast on the map. So I think so many people talked about it. So it was the right thing that we did.
And I recommend it if you're ever having a bad moment. I sometimes just go and watch that video. Oh, yeah. It really cheers me up no end.
Just have it on a loop. I have it as a screensaver. It's worth having. It really is. And here comes Seann onto the arena.
Ladies and gentlemen. Seann Walsh, who thinks that he can outrid a police dog. Want to take on the police dog?
Jack D wants me to take it.
So Lightning is coming on. He's on his lead, looking pretty aggressive. Police officer is having trouble holding him back.
So we can feel what that feels like.
That dog has got Seann. In fact, even the police officer can't get it to let go of Seann's arm.
You still want to run for a police dog?
Not a friendly looking dog. Seann, the laughter you can hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, Seann Walsh, who is a little bit crazy, let's be honest. We'll get him up. We're going to roll our BT and then we'll start our demonstration.
Seann is now waddling off. The police officer's just left him to it. He's out there on his own.
The honorary mention is, of course, just Jack absolutely losing it. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. It looked like he was going to explode at the mere mention of me appearing on Mastermind.
Well, again,
I mean, this is not even. I hadn't been on it. We didn't know it was going to be a disaster. I mean, we knew it was going to be a disaster, but we hadn't experienced that yet. It was just, I'm doing Mastermind, and Jack just. It exploded. It went. I'm surprised you're still here.
I am as well. It was one of those moments where, because you said it and it came out of nowhere, and then have you ever had you must have had that experience where you think of something and you personally find it so funny you can't even get it out. You can't even say it. And it's not as funny as you're finding it. Usually that's the trouble with it. But I did find that a very funny moment. And I'm sorry, it was not,
Because you do have a bit about Mastermind in your stand-up show.
I did actually, yes. I did have a bit about Mastermind.
Oh, Christ alive. Sorry, that wasn't you. That was me remembering Mastermind. Sorry.
Are you nervous about that, Seann?
Not really.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Just Stephen Fry and Richard Osman, they're fine, I've actually got a line in my show about Mastermind as well now. So.
Oh, good. What is it? Oh no! I'll see it. Don't tell me.
Did you know Seann Walsh did Mastermind?
You bastard! Look how happy he is! It's the happiest he's been in the 2 years of recording this. I've never seen you laugh this much.
here's another thing about Mastermind is that I do I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue.
Of course.
Which I've been doing like for 14 years or something now. Wow. And it was someone's specialist subject this week. Was Clue. Was Clue.
Oh, wonderful.
Clue.
Oh, wow.
And I got sent a link, and how sad am I to have watched it thinking, do I get a name check here? Well, the producer gets a name check. He was the answer to one question. Colin Sell, the pianist, he got a name check, and I didn't feature. So that just goes to show. That was just desserts for me. You know,
yes.
Finding it so funny that you were going to go on the show as a contestant, and then me thinking I might get a...
But Jack, don't worry, because you featured heavily in the Boyzone documentary.
Yes! We've not mentioned this! To anyone who, if you've not seen it yet, there is a 3-parter on Sky, I think, about the 90s band Boyzone that Jack appears in... Not 1, but 2 episodes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't know you were so integral to their career, Jack.
I was in episode 1, I was presenting Top of the Pops, I think.
Yes.
By episode 2, I was on Parkinson with Ronan Keating. As you WhatsApped to everyone. So wait till episode 3, he joins them. He joins the band.
Yes.
So that was my decade, the 90s. You know, that was me.
Well, and also you're a meme. I mean, I can't believe we're not sometimes we put these things in the group and then we don't end up mentioning them on the pod. But there's a fantastic meme out there of Jack with Bjork hosting Top of the Pops, and the caption says, "Oh, what's it? Sorry, it's something like when Britain was good." Or
The Golden Age.
Yeah, the Golden Age.
Yeah.
You and Bjork posting Top of the Pops is the symbol of that.
Yeah.
It's not very nice that it's next to a photo of me and you in black and white.
Now look at it.
Yeah.
Those were the days, but I think that's a lot of fun. Michelle Duggan said we should all get an award for a podcast that brings happiness in every moment. Well, that's nice. Thank you, Michelle.
Very nice. Bless
Thank
you.
you very much, and please keep listening. And then Rachel Warwick said we should look for the dog who looks most like his owner, and I think we should start with this as a new feature. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's always nice to see pictures of dogs with their owners, especially if they seem to look alike.
I think we do start to resemble each other. I mean, my daughter always says Juniper looks like me.
Oh, really?
And no doubt Mildred looks like you, Sean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dolly and Jack, a little bit.
Yeah, well, Dolly and Jane really are. I mean, they're just character-wise, they're so similar. You know, they're so it is funny. Yeah, and I'm sure Dolly has learnt a lot of that from Jane, and she's kind of picked up that sort of demeanour, basically, of being in charge of things.
Well, that's very nice, and I think if we obviously we're putting this out on YouTube, and in the future we'll put bits and bobs. And we're recording online, we can maybe do that, and it will give our viewers a reason to go and check out on YouTube, and they can see.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Thank you, Rachel. We'd love that. Now, it's time for us to meet Nicky Laceby, which I think is...
Our guest, Nicky Laceby, is a Scottish-born baker from Dundee. She gained national attention as a contestant on the 2023 series of the Great British Bake Off, where she charmed audiences with her traditional baking style, reminiscent of her grandmother's kitchen. Beyond baking, she volunteers for a pet therapy charity with her dog, Bracken. And in December 2024, Nicky returned to the Bake Off tent for a Hogmanay special celebrating Scottish heritage. Nicky has very kindly come to join us in the studio.
Oh, lovely. Oh, bless you. Bless you. Hello.
Hiya, Nicky.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, look at that.
Here you go.
Oh, my God.
You can have them.
Oh, it's
I
so
don't
lovely.
think they look like Mildred.
That's Mildred. That's supposed to be...
It's identical.
And that is the nearest to Dolly that I could
It's
get.
beautiful.
And then it's Leah, isn't it?
Leia, yeah.
Oh,
Simon's
how sweet. Simon's still out there.
So we'll take a photo.
Bless you.
That's so lovely.
Well,
Do you want to show... Sorry, Nicky. Do you want to show the camera? Just get it on somehow.
That's a bit scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
We've gone high tech now. We're in 4K.
You're absolutely amazing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
There you go.
you want me to take your jacket from in between your legs? Would that make your life easier? Or is that your tail, if you really put some effort in?
I wanted to dress up
Yeah.
as a beaver, actually.
As a beaver.
There you go.
Oh, lovely.
We'll have you pop.
Well, will you come and join
So
us? Please sit
sweet.
down.
That's so kind. Thank you.
How are we all?
Very
We're all
good.
very well. Welcome, Nikki.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining us. And you have been very kind and baked cakes for us, which are, I'm very excited to get a cake from a bake-off.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, no!
They're all
Sorry to
falling all over
destroy.
the
What are you
place.
doing?
Yeah.
Crack me up.
So sorry. Let me just
I tell you what, that better not be Mildred that's landed
I don't
face
know.
down.
Was it Mildred that landed face down? No, you're all right. Mildred's
okay.
all right.
Thank God.
We,
Sorry.
we can do that again if you want.
That's Juniper that you kind of.
She's all right. She doesn't mind.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Don't-
They've actually-
There we go.
Yeah, they're perfect.
They look lovely.
Don't you
Our
worry.
dog-themed cupcakes. Superb.
No, as best as I could.
Like that.
Nikki has brought in some amazing dog-themed cupcakes, and they're all styled on our own individual dogs. Is that right?
That's right.
That's very
We've got
clever of you. Thank you.
Mildred,
Yeah.
Yes.
Juniper.
Yeah.
Delicious she is
And
too.
Simon's dog Leia.
Yeah.
Ah, fantastic.
So much.
Well, I'm sure they might be sampled later on. That's really,
Yes.
that's really brilliant. Tell us about your two dogs. You've got Bracken and Haggis.
Oh, Bracken and Haggis.
What great names.
Oh, they are. Haggis
Yeah.
is a right nightmare. But
Okay.
Bracken is a lovely wee soul.
Okay. And they're Cocker Spaniels, both of them?
Both of them Cocker Spaniels.
Right. Okay. Were you brought up with dogs? Or always had dogs? Or
Always had dogs. Yeah, always King Charles.
Yeah.
And then when I left home, I went away, did things, and then decided I'd get some of my own.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Well, of course. Why not?
Yeah.
It's very interesting because I was thinking about this on the way in. Is that Dolly is very partial to cake. I mean, obviously, I can't believe it's terribly good to give a dog
No.
sweet things, but she'll only have a tiny
Hope
little
Simon's not
bit.
listening.
I know, a tiny little bit, and I think it's because in a previous life, I think she was her previous kind of owner was this elderly lady who passed away, but I suspect Dolly enjoyed having tea and cake with her, and it sort of brings back nice memories. And but she's got a bit of a sweet tooth. Has to
Does
be
she?
said, yeah.
A haggis is a bit like that.
Oh, right.
She sits right by my feet when I'm in the
Yes.
kitchen.
Oh.
Follows me around.
Oh,
Yeah,
lovely.
yeah.
And as soon as that mixer goes,
I bet.
she's like, ah.
Okay,
what's
like
going
she
on?
knows the noise,
Yeah.
like a Pavlovian response to
That's
hearing
it.
a mixer go off.
Yeah.
Because when you were doing Bake Off, you must have been baking constantly to is that right?
That's a lot of
Till
pressure.
about 2 in the morning.
Okay.
Oh,
It was
Yeah.
oh my God.
churning out. I had
Yeah.
to shut all the shutters,
Yeah.
draw the blinds, so that the neighbours wouldn't see what on earth I was doing, this mad woman at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Probably thought you started up a meth kitchen or something. You know?
Breaking Bad.
She's doing it again. She's on it. But it was just, I guess your family were sampling a lot of it.
They were.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But nobody else was allowed to, so what do you do with it all?
Well, and what did you do with it all?
Oh,
Did you- in the end, you can't give it all to the dogs.
No, some of it had to just get shipped out as sort of random things.
Yeah, just go out
Yeah.
and give it
Sort
to. I've often wondered about that if you're on a cooking competition and when you're just constantly trying the same recipe, like 3 days in a row or something like that.
Doing awful.
Yeah.
I mean, I had about 6 Normans. Norman was the beaver that I made. And there was about
Okay.
6 Normans churned out.
Okay, you've just tuned in. We're talking about Bake Off. And,
Oops. Yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah,
John's laughing
Yeah.
in the corner.
so you live in the countryside or you're fairly urban or what do you
In
do?
the countryside.
Okay,
With a few houses around.
Okay, yeah, and then so long country walks and all that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Bracken and Haggis off the lead.
Off
Yeah.
the
They're
lead.
out there.
Yeah.
Bracken's 8, Haggis is 6.
Yeah.
And so, was Haggis introduced after Bracken? You had Bracken and then Haggis came
That's
in
right,
next. And
yeah.
how did I'm always interested in how they, what the chemistry was like there.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
It took
okay.
a while.
There was there a moment where you're going, I don't
Yeah.
know if I've done
I
the
was
right
like,
thing here.
what have I done?
Yes.
Yeah, there was that. And then you eventually got over it. But yeah, because are you thinking of getting another one?
No, I would. No, do you know what? I would love to, but it would be impossible.
Yeah.
There's another human being
Oh, yes.
on the way. So
Fabulous.
yes, thank you.
That's
So
amazing.
so another dog on top of that would be.
No, that'd be
I
carnage,
think we've all
I
agreed
think.
that would not be.
No, that'd just be absolute
Yeah.
carnage.
Jack and Sarah actually tried to put a stop to the second child.
I think
There's
that,
only so much you can do on that.
Yeah.
front,
so you volunteer for Pets as Therapy.
Yes.
So how does that work? You bring your dogs along. What happens?
Yeah, so it's Bracken that I take, and
Yeah.
so Bracken was assessed, and then now I've been doing it about 7 years. We go to our local hospice once a week,
Amazing.
and we go onto the unit, and Bracken just goes in and visits all the patients, and
That's so sweet, isn't it?
It is.
I think dogs have an instinct for people who perhaps aren't feeling well or feeling a bit vulnerable. I know that when we go to visit my dad, he's in a nursing home, and she just takes on another demeanor. She loves meeting older people, and she'll sit on people's laps and just sort of spend time with them. They seem to have a kind of natural affinity.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. And everybody slips them a custard cream or something. don't they?
Oh, I see.
Can I come next time? Sounds great.
That's lovely. Haggis enjoys that.
It's
Bracken.
Oh, it's Bracken. Sorry,
Oh, God,
Bracken.
Haggis would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
She would just,
You couldn't do it.
Oh, she'd run amok.
It's so interesting because they're beautiful. They both look very similar to know that they've
Yes.
got such different personalities.
They're half sisters.
Oh.
So I thought, well, given Bracken's sort of personality, I thought Haggis will be the same. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So how did you get involved in that? Was it
In the Pets as Therapy thing.
Yeah.
It's a charity organisation, and you can just, if you feel that your dog is of a temperament that you think will work, you can just get in touch with them. You can get your dog assessed, and if your dog passes the assessment, then you're good to go. You get your references done, and away you go.
Do you know what part of the assessment? What is the assessment? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, so there's all sorts of things. It's from walking, how well they walk on the lead, to how chilled they are when you sit down with them and have a chat.
Oh, okay.
Do they just relax, or do they paw, bark, you name it?
So did you test Haggis as well, or did you just go, there's no point?
I just went, absolutely no
Yeah, that's
way.
how I'd feel about Mildred. There would be no point in even
Would
having
you
that
reckon?
assessment.
Right,
But
yeah.
Dolly sounds like she could.
Dolly probably would. I mean, she does enough of it anyway, as a sort of visiting my dad and a couple of other people that we sometimes see, and I think everyone enjoys that, and especially people who are no longer in a situation to have a dog themselves. That's what I've noticed, is people who instantly say, "Oh, I always had," they'll tell you what dogs they used to have, and it's part of their own history. And of course, we always overlook that with old people, don't we? They've got all that stuff that's gone on, and kids as well. Just would love that and benefit from it.
Kids are great because you can do the read to dog scheme as well.
Read to dogs.
Read to dogs through the schools.
Right.
I've done that with Bracken.
So who
where we
reads
go
to the
into a
dogs?
school and the children, they will take a library book and they'll go one-to-one or in a small group, and they'll sit down with Bracken and read to her.
That's a great idea.
Because
Lovely.
Great idea.
Bracken doesn't judge, and they can
No.
just sit and they can build up their confidence reading, and it's really lovely to watch, I've got to say.
That's fantastic, because I can well imagine how that will work with children. They have a kind of confidence talking to a dog that they might not with a teacher or
That's
a
it,
supervisor.
exactly.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
What a great idea. So can anyone get in touch with Pets as Therapy, and if they've got a dog, and say, look, can I come and have a look and see what we can do?
Absolutely. You just go online and then you
What a
just
really
sort
nice
of
thing.
apply for it. So yeah.
Oh,
Do you know who's next?
Yeah, she could do it, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
You recently took them to France. I've got on my notes here. What happened there? Were you a holiday or?
It's great. We go quite a few times, and we just bundle them in the car, trundle along, we use the Eurotunnel.
Right.
Yeah.
So easy.
Yeah.
And you just...
You're doing it legally. I mean, it's easy if you're not.
I'm not
It just shoves it in the back of the van. He crawls underneath. He holds on. You've got to have a good grip. I will say you do have to have a good grip.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
It's legal,
the
yeah.
ears flapping about. Yeah, it's it's pretty straightforward. The only thing is getting all the documentation before you go.
Yes.
That is a bit of a...
And that's a pain.
It's...
What do people do? Can you
well,
remember?
you've got to have your rabies jab done first.
Sure.
And then you have to wait 21 days if they haven't had one before. And then you go to the vet, you fill out all this, and then you've only got 10 days to then travel.
Oh, you've got a window.
You've got a window.
Okay, right.
And then you can be away for up to 4 months. And then on your way back, you've got to go to a local vet up to 5 days before you travel back.
I see.
To get your paperwork stamped, and they get a worming tablet.
Okay.
And then you trundle back.
So how long are you in France for when you do all that? Is it you go for 2 weeks or longer?
Tend to go away for a wee bit longer.
Bit longer, yeah, because it's quite a lot of hassle, isn't it?
It is for the dogs and stuff. But yeah, it's great.
Just lovely. It's one of our. It's like a dream on the show, isn't it, for us to be able to take our dogs overseas with us? So I wanted to.
Yeah, so we've
well, you definitely should. It's so easy.
Lovely.
And I've got to say, I think it's much more relaxed when you're over there. They go everywhere with you.
Yeah, they allowed.
What
in
Europe
more
being
places,
slightly
aren't they?
friendlier to
much friendlier into cafes, you name it. I know we can do it here, but it just seems a lot easier out there.
Yeah, well, that's good to know, and because I find it quite frustrating when dogs are barred from coming into cafes and stuff like that. In many cases, there's just no reason for not letting dogs in.
Oh, shops is a nightmare. A shop.
Yeah.
Tesco's. What do you think's going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely fine. We just walk the dog. I don't know what they think. I don't know what they think could happen. How often you're going to get a dog? Dogs know not to wee or any of that. What? No, you think?
Most of them.
Mildred
wouldn't. They all would know.
Sorry?
But yeah, you're probably right.
I don't think Mildred. I know Mildred's a bit wild, but I don't think she'd be weeing around Tesco's or
You can take them
Sainsbury's.
into clothes shops and stuff out there.
I carry Juniper in a bag, so I think I should be all right doing that.
You should be fine.
Yeah.
Jane has Dolly in a little backpack for Dolly, so she just sits in there, and we quite often go into shops and don't even
No one
notice.
knows.
Nobody knows.
No one knows, you know.
Sorry, look, we are short on time, I'm afraid, and it's so nice of you to come in. It's so nice to talk to you, and you must come on again, and we'll do it online, so you don't have to travel in.
Yeah, so kind of you to come, and thank you for the cakes.
Oh well, you're welcome.
Yes, but
Very kind.
we will ask, of course. Do you let your dogs kiss you on the mouth?
Yes, of course I do.
Yes,
Why
I thought so.
not?
Yes.
It's the best part, isn't it? Oh, when you get home.
You're taking to France and you snog them when you're there. Yeah. Well, thank you for listening to Oh My Dog and our second birthday episode. We hope you're enjoying taking a deep dive into our love of dogs every week.
Yes, and please go and subscribe. Please do that. Go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel at OMD Pod. You'll be able to watch this episode in full. And please do get in touch by emailing us at hello@omdpod.com and find us on Instagram at OMDpod. You'll find lots of extra content and videos there. And you can leave us your voice notes, of course.
Please don't forget to give us a 5-star review if you feel like it, wherever you get your podcast from. And remember, a dog is for life, not just for podcasts. Cake time now.
Yes.